The year is 1897. The British Empire, a vast tapestry of colonies and dominions, stretches across the globe. On the northwestern frontier of British India, a volatile region marked by rugged mountains and fierce tribal loyalties, tensions simmer. This is the backdrop against which the Battle of Saraghari unfolds, a clash of arms and ideologies that would etch itself into the annals of military history. The British, driven by imperial ambition, sought to consolidate their control over this strategically vital region. The Pashtun tribes, fiercely independent and deeply protective of their ancestral lands, resisted these advances with unwavering determination. The rugged terrain of the northwest frontier province, now part of modern-day Pakistan, became a battleground for these competing aspirations. Amidst this volatile landscape, a small signal post named Saraghari stood as a solitary outpost of the British Empire, manned by a detachment of 21 Sikh soldiers. These men, hailing from the Punjab region of India, were bound by their oath of service to the British Crown and their unwavering loyalty to one another. They were members of the 36th Sikh Regiment, a unit renowned for its valour and discipline. The Sikh soldiers stationed at Saraghari were not merely pawns in a grand imperial game. They were individuals with families, beliefs and aspirations of their own. Their story, often overshadowed by the larger narrative of imperial conquest, is one of courage, sacrifice and the enduring bonds of brotherhood forged in the crucible of battle. Perched precariously atop a desolate hilltop, Saraghari was a small isolated outpost that served as a vital communication link between two larger British forts, Fort Lockhart and Fort Gulistan. Constructed from mud bricks and stones, it offered little in the way of comfort or protection. The post housed a signalling tower, from which messages were relayed using heliographs, reflecting sunlight to transmit coded flashes of light. This rudimentary yet essential form of communication allowed the British to maintain a tenuous hold over this remote and rebellious region. For the 21 Sikh soldiers stationed at Saraghari, life was a monotonous routine of guard duty, drills and the ever-present threat of attack. The isolation of their post, coupled with the constant danger, fostered a strong sense of camaraderie among the men. They found solace in shared meals, religious observances, and the exchange of stories from their distant homes. Their Sikh faith, with its emphasis on courage, selflessness, and the defense of the weak, provided them with spiritual fortitude. The soldiers of Saraghari, though far from the pomp and ceremony of military parades, understood the importance of their duty. They were the eyes and ears of the British Empire in this remote corner of the world, their vigilance crucial to maintaining order and security. Little did they know that their isolated outpost would soon become the focal point of a fierce battle, testing their courage and loyalty in the face of overwhelming odds. As the sun cast long shadows over the barren landscape on September 12, 1897, an ominous silence settled upon Saraghari. The Sikh soldiers, their senses heightened by days of mounting tension, scanned the horizon, their rifles at the ready. The stillness was shattered by the distant beat of war drums, a sound that sent a chill down the spines of even the most seasoned soldiers. A massive force of Pashtun tribesmen, estimated to number in the thousands, had surrounded the signal post, their colourful turbans and flowing robes a stark contrast to the drab uniforms of the British Indian Army. The Pashtun warriors, armed with swords, daggers and antiquated rifles, were a formidable force, driven by a potent mix of religious fervour and a burning desire to expel the British from their lands. They had risen up in rebellion against British rule, their ranks swelled by disaffected tribesmen and religious leaders. The Sikh soldiers at Saraghari found themselves facing an enemy that dwarfed them in numbers but not in courage. The attackers, confident in their numerical superiority, launched wave after wave of assaults against the small mud fort, their war cries echoing across the desolate landscape. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the Sikh soldiers fought with unwavering bravery, their rifles spitting fire and their bayonets gleaming in the afternoon sun. They knew that their chances of survival were slim, but they were determined to sell their lives dearly. Messages were frantically relayed from the besieged outpost, informing the British commanders of the desperate situation. Reinforcements were promised, but time was running out. The defenders of Saraghari, their ammunition dwindling and their bodies weary, fought on. Their courage fueled by their faith, their brotherhood, and the knowledge that their sacrifice would not be in vain. The exact details of the Battle of Saraghari, shrouded in the mists of time and the fog of war, are difficult to reconstruct with absolute certainty. Conflicting accounts, exaggerated claims, and the passage of over a century have obscured the precise sequence of events and the true extent of the carnage. British accounts, eager to highlight the valor of their Sikh troops and justify their presence in the region, often inflated the number of Pashtun attackers, claiming that the defenders faced an army of thousands, perhaps as many as 10,000 or more. However, historians have cast doubt on these figures, pointing out the logistical improbability of such a large force converging on a remote outpost in such a short time frame. The rugged terrain and limited resources of the region would have made it difficult to sustain an army of that size. A more realistic estimate of the attacking force, based on contemporary accounts and the carrying capacity of the region, is likely to be in the hundreds or low thousands. Similarly, the reported casualties on both sides are subject to scrutiny. British accounts, eager to emphasize the scale of the Sikh victory, claim to have inflicted heavy losses on the enemy, with figures ranging from hundreds to over 1,000. However, these claims are difficult to verify, as the Pashtun tribesmen, following their custom, likely removed their dead and wounded from the battlefield. The true cost of the battle, in terms of human life, will likely never be known with certainty. Section 5. Echoes of Empire, the Martial Race, and Colonial Narratives. In the aftermath of the Battle of Saraghari, the British Empire, eager to capitalize on the heroic narrative, seized upon the story of the 21 Sikh soldiers who had fought against overwhelming odds. Their sacrifice was used to bolster the image of the British Indian Army and to further the imperial agenda in the region. The Sikh soldiers, hailed as martyrs and heroes, were posthumously awarded the Indian Order of Merit, the highest gallantry award that could be bestowed upon an Indian soldier at the time. Their story was immortalized in dispatches, ballads, and poems, cementing their place in military history. This narrative, however, was not without its complexities. It played into the British colonial strategy of dividing and ruling the Indian subcontinent by promoting the concept of martial races. This theory, deeply flawed and inherently racist, categorized certain ethnic groups within India, such as the Sikhs, Pathans, and Gurkhas, as being naturally inclined towards warfare, possessing qualities of courage, loyalty, and discipline that were deemed to be lacking in other groups. The martial race myth served several purposes for the British. It provided a convenient justification for their continued rule, suggesting that Indians were incapable of governing themselves and required the firm hand of a foreign power. It also provided a steady stream of recruits for the British Indian Army, drawing upon the perceived martial spirit of these communities. The narrative of Saraghari, with its emphasis on Sikh bravery and loyalty, fit neatly into this framework. Section 6. Beyond the Veil of Valor, Pashtun Resistance and the Defense of Home. While the Battle of Saraghari is often remembered as a testament to the courage of the Sikh soldiers, it is crucial to acknowledge the perspective of the Pashtun tribesmen who fought on the other side. They were not merely nameless aggressors or faceless enemies, but men fighting for their homeland, their traditions, and their way of life. The Pashtun tribes, inhabiting the rugged mountainous region that straddles the modern-day border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, have a long and proud history of resistance against foreign invaders. They have fiercely defended their independence against Persians, Greeks, Mughals, and, in the late 19th century, the British Empire. From the Pashtun perspective, the Battle of Saraghari was not an isolated incident, but part of a larger struggle against British imperialism, an attempt to resist the encroachment of a foreign power upon their ancestral lands. The British, seeking to expand their control over the region, sought to impose their laws, customs, and administration upon the Pashtun tribes, often with little regard for local traditions or sensitivities. This interference in their affairs, coupled with the economic exploitation of their resources, fueled resentment and resistance among the Pashtun tribes. Religious leaders, leveraging the influence of Islam, played a significant role in mobilizing the tribesmen against the British, framing the conflict as a jihad, a holy war against infidels. The Pashtun tribesmen who fought at Saraghari were not driven by bloodlust or a desire for plunder, but by a deep-seated belief in the righteousness of their cause. Section 7. The legacy of Saraghari, between history and myth. The Battle of Saraghari, over a century after it was fought, continues to resonate in the collective memory of India, Pakistan, and the Sikh diaspora worldwide. It is a story that has been told and retold, passed down through generations, evolving from a historical event into a powerful legend. The battle, with its themes of courage, sacrifice, and unwavering loyalty, has been woven into the fabric of Sikh identity, serving as a source of pride and inspiration. The story of Saraghari, however, is not without its critics. Some historians argue that the battle, while undoubtedly an act of bravery, has been disproportionately glorified, overshadowing other equally significant but less celebrated episodes of Sikh military history. They point out that the British, for their own political purposes, played a significant role in shaping the narrative of Saraghari, exaggerating the scale of the battle and the number of enemy combatants to suit their imperial agenda. Others argue that the focus on Saraghari, with its emphasis on Sikh valor, inadvertently reinforces the divisive martial race theory, perpetuating stereotypes and obscuring the contributions of other communities to India's military history. Despite these criticisms, the legacy of Saraghari endures. The battle serves as a reminder of the human cost of conflict, the courage that can be found in the face of adversity, and the enduring bonds of brotherhood that unite soldiers on the battlefield. Section 8. Remembering the fallen memorials and tributes. The Battle of Saraghari, though fought over a century ago in a remote corner of the British Empire, has not been forgotten. The memory of the 21 Sikh soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice that day is honored in numerous memorials, tributes, and commemorative events held in India, Pakistan, the United Kingdom, and among the Sikh diaspora worldwide. At the site of the battle itself, a simple yet poignant memorial marks the spot where the signal post once stood, a testament to the courage of the defenders. A more elaborate memorial consisting of a towering obelisk stands at Fort Lockhart, one of the two larger forts that Saraghari was tasked with protecting. The names of the 21 Sikh soldiers are etched in stone, their sacrifice forever remembered by those who visit this remote outpost. In India, the memory of Saraghari is particularly strong within the Sikh community. Gurdwaras, Sikh places of worship, often feature murals and paintings depicting the battle, while religious songs and poems recount the bravery of the soldiers. The Indian Army continues to honor the legacy of Saraghari, with several regiments tracing their lineage back to the 36th Sikhs, the unit that fought so valiantly that day. Every year, on September 12th, Saraghari Day is observed, commemorating the battle and paying tribute to the fallen soldiers. The enduring legacy of Saraghari is a testament to the power of human courage and the enduring bonds of brotherhood forged in the crucible of battle. Section 9. Saraghari in popular culture, from textbooks to the silver screen. The story of Saraghari, with its themes of courage, sacrifice, and the triumph of the human spirit against overwhelming odds, has captivated the imagination of artists, writers, and filmmakers for over a century. The battle has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, poems, songs, and most recently, a major motion picture. The story of Saraghari first gained widespread attention in the aftermath of the battle itself, when British accounts, eager to celebrate the bravery of their Sikh troops, were disseminated through newspapers and magazines throughout the empire. The battle quickly captured the public imagination, becoming a popular subject for paintings, poems, and stage plays. In the 20th century, as India gained independence and the Sikh diaspora spread throughout the world, the story of Saraghari took on new significance, becoming a symbol of Sikh identity and pride. The battle was incorporated into school curriculums, ensuring that future generations would learn about the sacrifice of the 21 Sikh soldiers. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in the Battle of Saraghari, with several major film and television productions bringing the story to a global audience. These productions, while often taking creative liberties with the historical record, have helped to introduce the story of Saraghari to a new generation, sparking conversations about courage, sacrifice, and the complexities of colonial history. The enduring appeal of the Saraghari story lies in its ability to transcend cultural and linguistic barriers, resonating with audiences on a deeply human level.